This is the next one by Ajinkya. Current challenge. How do we deal with finance while transforming project to products in enterprise agility? Maybe can you clarify, Ajinkya, what does it mean when you say finance here?
The finance team, I think what happens is they have a lot of control in terms uh, of how things are happening or how processes are set, how the governance is set, which sometimes does not allow the right agile practices to be followed. And you know, and finances, then all the sponsors they'll have to answer, and so to speak, it becomes anti-agile sometimes.
Are we relating to the previous question as well? Previous was more general, this is more broad. So finance or governance having a rigid approach or fixed approach. Okay.
Exactly. So and in particular when the scenario is in particular the way the budgeting is done
All right.
during.
So
Yeah.
I would request you to let's focus on budgeting. That's a great question for now. All right,
Okay,
Ajinkya. See, now
okay,
we
sure.
complex domain. We are refining the situation also, and that's
Exactly,
right. That is
yeah.
exactly the idea of agility. There is nothing called requirement. Okay, we don't know, and we are trying to refine. So here is a situation for all of us. Get going, friends. Try it out. Your response. So, how do you deal with situations where you have fixed budgeting for your projects or product development, including things like, hey, we don't have training budget in this quarter. Okay, so come next year, come next quarter. Okay, so Ajinkya wants to learn something new that might help him in his project, and we say we don't have budget. Come next year, all of that. So how, as a Scrum Master, you can deal with situations of fixed budgeting in your projects? Well, Santosh, I can see your hand. Thank you so much. But let's see if someone else is willing. Otherwise, I'll come back to you. All right, Santosh? Great. So requesting all of you, how do you now deal? It very much connects to the previous one as well. How do you deal with fixed budgeting in your organization? I mean, to help your organization move towards enterprise agility. Yeah, who would like to try? Yeah, all right, Javed. Okay, Javed, welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll remind all of you once again, this is your platform. Okay, I am only at your service. Please utilize it. The more you speak, you will realize that a couple of times here and after a month, you are a conference speaker. Believe me. But if you are holding yourself, it is just, a great opportunity wasted. So please try and speak. The fear will go away in some time and you will be able to contribute better. All right, Javed.
Yes. See, I've not dealt with the situation actually in reality, but again, it is about agile principles, right? We are talking here about fixed mindset to growth mindset. So we may have to coach the finance team also, saying that we can't really have a long-term fixed plan, right? We have to be more agile with the planning also when it comes to budgeting as well, right? I think that is a way to go. And I know it's sometimes very difficult because when things come about budgeting, right, it becomes really tricky, right? So yeah, but again, I think coaching is the only way to go about it. Maybe trying to give them some short-term benefits with agile, saying that if you go agile, you can reap some benefits.
I would like to know from you, Javed, when you say agile budgeting or agile contracting in general, what are you meaning here? How does a contracting or budgeting change when we add the word agile there?
No, actually, what I'm saying is normally we are used to budgeting this for a year, right? We go with yearly budgets, right? Long-term planning. So your bosses are always asking you forecast for long-term, right? Now we don't know what will happen after 1 year. I mean, in agile, we don't want to really forecast for such a long time, right? But they are still putting some pressure on you. Give me some figure, right? Give me some numbers, right? This is a big challenge, right? Long-term number, some forecast. So basically changing that mindset, right? We don't want to really have mindset of planning for so long, even if it comes to budgeting.
All right. Well, great point. So I would like to put it, and Santosh, if I missed anything, you can add after that. Thank you, Javed, for that. So here is the thing. One thing, first try to bring agile elements in everything we do. So first thing, rather than looking and freezing stuff long term, try to keep short term. Shorter the better. Now, what is that short term? We don't know. Based on the organization situations, you might want to keep budgeting to even monthly. which is fine. If you can do that, it's just paperwork, right? Somebody started doing annual budgeting, so we all thought the world has to do annual budgeting. Okay, there are organizations who have already moved to quarterly budgeting and monthly budgeting also. That is one thing. In fact, there are organizations which have no budgeting concept, by the way. There's some lovely stuff written and shared across the world. No budgeting. People know how much they have in their bank accounts, and if there are opportunities, they use it. That is one first step. Second step, even if you do budgeting or don't do budgeting, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year, be dynamic in your allocation of budget. That means if a new situation comes, try and be dynamic in your budget allocation. If you feel that, okay, Javed and Ajinkya needs to attend a training this week because it is going to add value, so be it. Take money from someplace and move it here. And that's where, let's say you have a fund for the project or product development. Product owner is aware of the overall budget, and product owner can move around what is necessary now, isn't it?
Okay.
What is necessary now rather than fixing. So any fixed approach, okay, whether it is budgeting, believing that this is the best team you've got, believing that you know the requirements, believing that you know solution, in my opinion, they are your first indication that our mindset is not aligned to agility. All right, agility is about responding to change. Okay, we live in the space of I don't know. Remember that. Always write it somewhere. I don't know. Everything in the world that you are seeing is an assumption and perception. There's nothing called absolute truth. I know it's getting a little philosophical, but that's the idea of complexity, isn't it? Complexity, why we are doing agile or Scrum, because we don't know. We are experimenting every day, isn't it? We had no idea what kind of questions you are going to ask. Same thing. All right, everyone. Well, thank you. So those 4 hand raised, Vishal, I would like to invite you. Vishal, would you like to add something or ask?
Thanks, Vineet. Yeah, what I've seen is mostly in the organization, people want to have a fixed budget, and then they say that, okay, we want to go by this particular amount of a budget, this particular time. So, things are fixed in a temporary project. I would say typical project management. So what I've seen, people doing is that they say that, okay, we will do, maybe they fix the number of people, and then they say that we are going to have so many sprints, and in whatever sprints, whatever value we are going to achieve, let's try to maximize the value of the of the minimum viable product, and check out how do we do at that particular time, and whatever is needed, maybe we can decide after that. So you may not require to go the entire sprint duration, or maybe that stuff to move ahead.
Great point.
Budget per release.
Budget, but whatever, just fix your money that you want to put in for the product and keep varying the scope. And that is the idea of maximizing the value. Exactly. How do you maximize the value? Well, by not making people work extra hours, but by doing stuff which are of higher value all the time. That's exactly the point. Vishal, thank you so much.